Dear Diary. No, this isn't a Dear Diary. This is the telling of a day's events. 2 days events which changed my life. Now then, I think in life, when there are injustices, whether it's political or personal, one ought to seek redress. So the idea would be, if you feel an injustice has been done to you, speak up. Tell your story. Here's mine. Wednesday, 10th of March, 2021. Okay, now, to start with, I have terminal cancer. Just over a year ago, I was given a prognosis of 3 to 5 years to live. I have 11 children, 2 grandchildren, 10 biological children, 1 biological grandchild. Now then, for all my children, all my grandchildren. And for me, time is precious. Now, whether I will beat the cancer or not is still open to conjecture. As far as the medical profession is concerned, they'll deal with palliative treatments. In other words, they'll help me deal with the pain and not really do much to cure the cancer. As far as the official pharmaceutical business and stuff is concerned, I'm incurable. So that's quite a serious situation to be in. Any cancer diagnosis is life-changing for the person who's diagnosed and for the people who love and care for them, and I know that. So it's very heavy. Now, when you're first diagnosed, you're in with a chance of a cure, and I was for a while, and unfortunately it didn't work out. So my cancer metastasized and it's in my bones, and I have quite a lot of pain in my left hip in particular. And I was recently, in February, prescribed morphine for the pain, and in fact 6 days ago I had some palliative radiotherapy for the pain. So the cancer is real, the pain is very real, and the prognosis was real, and it's a year since then, so you might as well say I have a prognosis of 2 to 4 years. So time to me is precious. Now, Wednesday the 10th of March 2021, I had a hospital appointment booked for 4 p.m. It was a pre-radiotherapy treatment scan. Brilliant, okay. Now, on that day, I had also arranged for an holistic healer to call me regarding my cancer and treatment. The holistic healer goes by the name of JJ, and she is a good friend of one of the mothers of one of my children, and we're all still good friends. So I was introduced to JJ, and JJ proved to be very helpful. JJ arranged to call me on the 10th of March at 11 a.m. Now, the day had started good. I mean, I'm blessed with every day. Any day that I get is a blessing as far as I'm concerned. I always was like that, and since the cancer diagnosis is even more so. Anyway, so on that particular Wednesday, got up. Donna had taken the children to school and then gone to do some shopping. I was at home, did some washing up, and I was at the kitchen sink when Donna returned home. Donna being my partner of 16 years, mother of 3 of my children, and grandmother of one of my grandchildren, and the mother of my 11th child, if you were, not the non-biological one. So my stepdaughter, but I like to call her my daughter, Isla. Anyway, Donna came through the door that day with a bunch of flowers for me. Beautiful, that's lovely. I was touched, I was pleased. I'd spoken about maybe buying myself some flowers. Now, Donna and myself haven't been romantic for a while, even though I would have bought Donna flowers on Valentine's Day and chocolates and so on, and a card. It hasn't been romantic between us, but we have been civil, and I have been as loving as I can. And the reason for the lack of romance has not been from me. Okay, so Donna didn't like me being attracted to her, or showing my attention to her, or affection to her, and for her own reasons. Okay, so I held back a lot of affection. I was not unaffectionate, but I toned down my affection. Okay, so that's what I did, toned it down. If she couldn't have 100% of my love and affection, and if she could only handle 20% affection, then fine. But the rest of the time, I'm civil, I'm kind, and I'm loving. Okay? Donna never comes into me in a bad mood about something about her, or she's never had that. Never. Okay? So, she came in with flowers. I was touched. That was lovely. That was about 10:30. I said, JJ's going to be calling. Now, JJ being a woman, I'm sensitive to the fact that Donna might be a little insecure. So JJ phoned at 11 o'clock. And after about 5-6 minutes or 10 minutes into the conversation was really good. I thought I would put it on speakerphone and include Donna into the conversation, just so she could hear the tone and hear what's going on, and it's all above board, and it really is a conversation about healing the cancer through diet and various other remedies. Okay, JJ furnished me with loads of information, and halfway through the conversation, Donna said, "I love JJ." So that was good. So we're feeling love. We're feeling lots of love, and that's beautiful. We're feeling love, and it's given me hope. Because after a particular painful night in January, after which the doctors prescribed cocodamol, stronger painkiller, I was thinking I've maybe got 2.5 years to live. Okay? Because the pain was so bad. When I had a really savage night in February, the one after which the doctors prescribed the morphine, I thought, geez, this is so bad, I could be dead in 6 months. Okay? Now, that was painful. And on that night when I'd been in pain, Donna had come down, because I slept on the sofa for most of the time living with Donna. And why didn't I call her? And I said, oh no, well, I knew that I was going to be in pain today and that you'd be looking after the children, so I thought you better get your sleep. I didn't want to disturb you. But truth be told, I didn't call Donna because deep down, I don't really think Donna really cares. So she'll pay that lip service. But when I've spoken about issues with the cancer, Donna hasn't wanted to know. I've tried to explain about hormone therapy. It ended up in an argument. My first chemotherapy session ended up in an argument because I suggested that I might keep my hair. I did. She stormed off. First chemo. So when it has been this cancer journey, I have been loved and cared for by others outside of my immediate, significant other. She hasn't been that person, and she hasn't been there for me like that. She hasn't. And I don't think she can say she has. Okay, she's been physically there, but whether emotionally, mentally, spiritually there, nah. So I go through this knowing that other people understand my suffering better than Donna does. Okay? So no, that's why I didn't call her that day. Anyway, back to... So when JJ's talking to me now, on the 10th of March, I'm thinking, I could beat this cancer. I felt reinvigorated and re-inspired. It was very positive, and the conversation was good. It was open. Donna was included, okay, and JJ was fantastic. So lots of love. Okay, now then, the phone rang. Maybe an hour after that phone call had finished. It was an hour-long phone call, so maybe at 1 o'clock, and it's the Royal Marsden Hospital, and they would like me to come in for clinic at 2:15. So this was an impromptu arranged clinic. Brilliant. I got to the hospital and it was 2:30. I had a few things to do. I still hadn't eaten, hadn't had breakfast, hadn't had lunch. I'd been busy. Sorry, the message just popped up from Don on the screen. I've been busy. Sorry, lost my thread. Right. Okay. Yeah, busy all day. So the phone call to JJ, then the earlier thing. So I didn't get lunch. Off to the hospital, and it's just and 2:30 odd. I get there. Wait for 10 minutes. My oncologist, Julia Murray, comes in, and she's very upbeat. They've got a new clinical trial for me. Now, there had been a clinical trial I was going for, but I didn't genetically qualify for. It'd been a month or so, 6 weeks waiting, and so that was a bit of a disappointment. And that had given me a bit of hope, and those hopes had been dashed. So new clinical trials. It wouldn't particularly be treating my cancer, but it would afford me a lot more information about my cancer. And following my conversation with JJ earlier, and JJ said to me, the more you know about your cancer, the easier it is to fight it. I'm thinking, well, this works. I've got JJ's things, and now there's this clinical trial's going to give me the more info. I can work out my own treatment and beat this cancer. Brilliant. So I'm upbeat. So after Julie Murray telling me, yes, they'd arranged for a radiotherapy session on the following Monday, all very positive, and she would send down one of the research team to talk to me and fill me in with the details for the clinical research. Brilliant. Okay, so after another wait of 10 minutes, I'm sitting in the room. In comes a Chinese woman, Dr. Christina, I don't know, Wu or something. I couldn't make out the surname. I only know the name because she signed a consent form that I had to sign. So it's Christina. She was a nurse, or doctor at the Royal Marsden, part of this research team. Now, I'm not being funny, but she's 5'2", something, 5'3", little Chinese woman, skinny, glasses, mask. We have a conversation where she explains to me the clinical trials. They'll need to take a biopsy, and since I don't have my prostate and the cancer is now in my bones, they'll probably have to go into my spine with a needle, draw out some of my bone marrow, and analyse that. How did I feel about that? How would I feel about, and also, how did I feel about having to come back to the hospital every week to be tested or whatever, so that they could keep a track. And also, there was a stool swab that needed to be done, because it's to do with the microbacteria in the belly. They're trying to find out the link with cancer. And bearing in mind I'm dealing with diet and stuff, I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to have to do a swab. How did I feel about that? Would I need someone else to do it for me? No, it's fine. So we have this conversation, and I'm very positive, very upbeat. She's very good, very attentive. How did I feel about this? If this happened, how would I feel about that? Brilliant. She says, okay. I say, yep, I'm up for it. Let's go. She says she'll go off and get the head of the research team, Dr. De Bono. I think he was an Irishman. And so I'm looking for my phone, and he would clue me up as to the rest of it. Okay, here it is. Yeah. Now, in between that time, now I have a WhatsApp group and it's called Daddy Cam's One Love Army. And this is a group of friends who, some of them are further away, I don't see them all the time. But it was originally Daddy Cam's Cancer Update. And I thought that's a bit of a morbid name, so I called it Daddy Cam's One Love Army. And, pardon me. And so I keep in touch with people en masse, because doing phone calls, etc., is 30 phone calls is a lot of time. So if I could just do one message to everyone, here's the update, bam, 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 and I let people know how I am and so on. Anyway, so in between this Christina leaving the room and going to get Dr. DeBono, I thought I would do a little message for my One Love Army, and this is it. And I'm going to play it now because this is very important. I did this message. Okay? Let's see if we...
Greetings, lovely people. Yeah, I'm still here. I haven't even been up for the scan yet. I've seen one of the doctors, Dr. Julia Murray. I've just seen another one. She was lovely, talk about clinical trials. And I'm sitting here in the Royal Marsden. You know, this is the room. This is your room. Been in here for a while. Right? But, you know, and I used to drive past this place, and I used to think, oh, I would dread. I've had friends, of course, be patients here, dread being a patient here. And even though this isn't exactly my idea of heaven, today, I mean, sitting here, I feel great. And I'm enjoying myself. And I've had a lovely day. I've been shown lots of love. I've received flowers. Thank you, Donna. And lots of good medical advice and assistance, and lots of love from lots of people. So who'd have thought it? Just going to say, you know, you never know. You could find yourself in somewhere where you might think it was really terrible and actually be feeling really good. Isn't it lovely? We're going to get through this. Right, One Love Army. I salute you. See you soon. God bless.
Okay, so I made that film, and that is because I was sitting in the Royal Marsden, where friends of mine have been, and some of those friends no longer with us, and it was a place I always dreaded being a patient, and I find myself a patient there. And after the conversation, after receiving flowers from Donna, after the conversation with JJ, after the conversation with Julia Murray, after the conversation with Christina, who, you know, whatever her second name was, and even after the conversation with Dr. DeBono, I felt really positive. I've got my One Love Army, and suddenly on this particular day, the forces seemed to rally, to reinvigorate, to lift me up again, because I was feeling defeated. I'm feeling like this cancer's got me and it's going to kill me. It hurts. Okay? So for 2 years of this cancer, I've had pain, I've had side effects, I've gone through what people go through with chemotherapy and surgery and everything, right? And I'm not, you know, I'm not going to be cured. So, excuse me. So, it's not sad. I've just got to, I'm going to make this film, sorry. And anyway, so I made that film. And in that film, I'm sitting in the room and I'm talking about the Royal Marsden, saying, you know, and so, anyway, I don't know what you made of it, but that was the film. What I would make of it is, there's a cancer patient in a place that he would have dreaded being years ago, in there and feeling good, and letting the world know that you could find yourself in somewhere horrible, and yeah, brilliant. Okay, now this is important, because following on from that, and whilst probably Dr. DeBono's talking to me, I'm getting responses from friends. And I would like to show you those responses from friends on my WhatsApp group, because it's important, okay? And so what happened was, and my, you know, here we are, let's go now then. 10th of March, I think we did that. Okay, Gregory, okay, here we are. So, that was where I did the film in the hospital, right? And then there's comments, right? And it's very hard for you to see those comments, but I've put them up, and so I'll look at them. So the first comment was from a friend of mine called Pete that said, "Positive mental attitude as always, Star. Quite right. You're going to get through this." Thank you, Pete. I sent a message saying, "Yes, my brother, up for the next round. Ding, ding. Seconds out. Come on, let's go. Love you, bruv." Right? It's in there somewhere, right? Friend of mine, Henry in Spain, ex-drummer from Talkover, he put up thumbs up, heart, star, heart, thumbs up. Pete, acknowledge same. Friend Matty James puts up, "Someone say fight, I'm in." Okay. My sister Gwyneth in Spain, bless her, she put up this comment, which you can see here. It says, "I'm guessing some of the staff were attractive ladies, judging by the smile on your face. Laughy faces, much love, bro. Prayers and hearts." Okay, that one there. Okay. My daughter Kaya then put up 3 laughing faces to that comment. My friend Henry Isles in Spain just put up the tune "Night Nurse," and that was at 5:20, and I was probably just coming out of the hospital because I went up for my scan at 4:30 after all the consultations. I was half an hour late. I went up for my scan, and meanwhile messages popping in, but I'm not sitting there answering messages. So when I got back in the car, I did leave a voice message for Donna, I believe, saying, about the stool sample. She said, "Sounds interesting." I said, "Yeah, I'll tell you about it when I come home." I then put up a tune called "Think Midi Done," which means, did you think I was finished? Did you think I was done? I'm just coming. So it's a tune by Admiral Bailey. This is the spirit and the mood that I was in. Okay. I then acknowledge Henry's Night Nurse with a love heart. Okay. All my people, when they get messages, you see, when I just acknowledge them, I just pop off these love hearts to people. Yes, I've seen your message. Thank you. One love. That's what the idea is behind that. So I did that, and then other people put in more messages. There was more positive messages. So hang on, I'm going to have to do this because you've got to. Right, so the Night Nurse went in. I put "You Think Me It Done," and then Fish Eye friend of mine, Nick, said, "Too right, Cam. We're going to get through this, Cam. Jobless. I'm having a lovely day because of you, Star. One Love Army. I want a t-shirt too." And I sent back to Nikos. "Brilliant, Nikos. Give thanks. One Love Army merchandise in the pipeline. Blessed love daily." People put up messages. My older daughter Trinity put up messages. My friend Surgeon put up "Bad Card." And then he put up "Clip of the Day." And then my cousin put up something. So yeah, okay, that all happened. But I was now in the car at 5:30 or whatever, and popped off a few messages. Voice message for Donna. Headed home, stopped off at the chemist, bought some Couprofen, some ibuprofen painkillers to go with the morphine. Went home. Got home about 10 to 6 it was. Now we're 25 minutes in. Stay with me. This could be another 20 minutes, right? And I came home. Now I came home. Baby Ava, my granddaughter by proxy, sitting at her table. She'd had her food, plates on the floor, food around her. She's finished, but she's still sitting in her chair watching TV. Damon's on the PC, Starlet's on her phone, on her device, Mercy's on her laptop at the table. Fine. No sign of Donna. Okay, no sign of my other half, who bought me flowers in the morning, and obviously, I thought would be interested to hear how the hospital trip went. Anyway, no sign of Donna, so I said, "Is Mummy alright? Yeah, okay." So I'm thinking, hey, Mummy might be doing some meditation, she might be doing some yoga, she might be doing an online course, or she might be having a snooze. I don't know. But I respect those boundaries, and I don't go into Donna's bedroom or knocking for her. I'm thinking, well, let her come down when she's ready. Okay. When it came to 7 o'clock, I still hadn't seen Donna. So I now, the baby had had a poo, so I thought, well, I'll change the baby's nappy. And I changed the baby's nappy, changed Ava's nappy, changed baby. It's 7:15, do some milk, put the baby to bed. The baby's in bed, 7:15, 7:20. In the room next door to Donna, put the baby to bed. No sign of Donna, haven't seen Donna yet. I've been in for an hour and a half nearly. Okay, she must be doing something. Now, I do know that Donna is intending to go, on that day, was intending to go to see her friend Danielle to do this online yoga course around about 8 p.m. So I'm thinking she's going to be going out about 7:45, and maybe she's doing some pre-yoga prep or meditation or something. I don't know. But I'm saying to the children, is Mummy all right? Have you seen Mummy? And okay. Anyway, now it got to 8 o'clock. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe she's not going out. And my personal thoughts were that her friend Danielle had maybe changed her mind, blown her out, and she was maybe having a bit of a sulk or a bit down, or maybe having to do some meditation to get out of a bad mood because she felt like, or something. So I said to the children, I said, Mummy bought me flowers this morning. I said, I think Mummy might need cheering up. I don't know. I'd like to go and buy Mummy some flowers. Would you like anything? So Damon said yes, he'd have a Fanta. So I got him a sugar-free Fanta when I went. Started with like a Kinder Bueno. Got her a Kinder Bueno. Mercy wanted these little Galaxy chocolate gold Easter eggs. I'll get her a packet of them, and I'd get Donna some flowers. Now I went to the BP. It's about 8 o'clock. I thought she's not going out now. Went to the BP. Got her a lovely orchid. About 4 minutes. Lovely orchid, and got the children their sweets and treats. So I came back, and Donna's car was gone. Now, I'd used my car to go to the garage. I'd only been gone for 10-15 minutes. But she was in when I left, and now she was gone. So I went in, I said to the children, I said, Mummy say goodbye when she went. Damon wasn't too sure, but the girl said, yes, she gave us a kiss. Then he said, oh yeah, she gave us a kiss. Okay. And I don't know if I asked then if she asked where I was, but obviously wasn't in when she went. So she went out, and she left the 3 children there, and the baby. And okay, curious, so she's gone. How strange. I'm just thinking that's weird. Anyway, I'm curious now, but Donna came, when did I'll tell you what time Donna came home. She came home about 7 a.m. Now, during the night, and she knows I've been dreading the nights because the pain can come on during the night, and in the mornings I do not know whether I'll be able to walk or not, hence why I always have crutches by my bed. Fortunately, since the radiotherapy and the morphine, I haven't been too bad. I've maybe used crutches one morning out of the last 10. But nonetheless, with the onset of pain in January and February, I'm kind of anxious about the nights. And anyway, also Damon's blood sugar needs monitoring, so I'm up and down the stairs overnight, and at one point his knee knocked into mine, knocked my leg out, hip, ouch, and it hurts. Fine, so I was in pain for the whole of the next day because of that knock, but that's all right. Donna came in at 7 o'clock in the morning to get the. I didn't ask her where she'd been. I didn't act moody. I carried on and helped getting the children ready. But about 7:20, I said to Donna, have you got a problem with me? And she said, and I quote, because she's later changed what she said, but I will explain that. She said, because this was the first thing that she had said to me since I got back from the hospital, she said, you humiliated me. I said, what? I mean, what? What? From where I was, what? What? You humiliated me. Now, she's later changed that since then to say that she said to me that I made her feel humiliated. But she didn't. She said, you humiliated me. But nonetheless, even if she said that I made her feel humiliated, I did not understand. So I said, what do you mean? So, from what I understand is this. Donna seems to think that there was some sexual something between me and a member of staff at the Royal Marsden, whether it was a flirtation or whether it was this or that or whatever, and that then when my sister Gwyneth put up the comment about there must have been, I didn't put up anything to say no, there was no well there were no attractive nurses, and I don't know why in the middle of a consultation I'm going to check my social media to say no. If that's what my sister thought, that's fine. And if that was maybe, of an annoyance to Donna, I could understand. But really, it wouldn't be anything that bad, because let me tell you now, if I was the partner of a cancer, if Donna was the terminally ill cancer patient and she went to the hospital, and if there was a dishy doctor and she had a bit of a flirt or chemistry with, good for her. But the fact of the matter is, and I pointed this out to Donna in the morning, I have been castrate for 2 years. I started hormone therapy in February 2019. I've been castrate. Zero testosterone. And it does change the way you think. All right? It changes everything. Now, for the first year, Donna and myself had occasional sexual relations. But Donna and myself have not had sexual relations since the 2nd of January 2020. And on that occasion, Donna took me by the hand and led me upstairs. And I thought, oh, you're being a tad optimistic, aren't you? What makes you think I can even perform? But I did. Good for me. But that was it. And that was the last time, because after that, on the 13th of January, I had surgery. I had my prostate removed. My genitalia has only just stopped hurting in January this year. It took a year for me to be pain-free from that operation. And I mean in my genitalia. So I have not been sexually aroused for over a year. I've been affectionate and I've danced with Donna. I would kiss Donna. I would put my arms around Donna, give her a hug. I'd love a cuddle. But I have not been sexual. And that's just the way it is. Okay? Now you can ask Donna about that. That's fine. But it wouldn't be that I would then be unaffectionate or not understanding of Donna's situation. But at the same time, when I'm at the Royal Marsden Hospital talking clinical trials and talking treatment and talking, the fact that my cancer is incurable. If Donna actually knows Julia Murray, so she knows there's no chemistry. There's no chemistry between me and the Chinese. There's no chemistry between me and anyone. There is no sexuality in it. I'm in a good mood. I had done some cannabis oil. I'm a little bit high, I'll be honest. I've taken some cannabis oil. I take it for the cancer. Okay, I'm also on morphine. But the thing is, I don't particularly have to put me in a good mood. What puts me in a good mood is Donna bringing me flowers, is the conversation with JJ, is the fact that I'm now on a clinical trial, okay, and the fact that I'm going to get some palliative radiotherapy. I'm good, and I've got a plan. I'm going to cure myself. Anyway, I said to Donna, I'm castrate. What do you mean? She said, yeah, but you're still interested. I thought, well, the only person I'd be interested in would be Donna. And I hadn't shown a lot of interest sexually towards her because she hadn't wanted any. And I haven't been in a position to really offer it, so it hasn't been there. Why I would want to initiate anything with anyone anyway, and why a member of staff would want to initiate anything with the 61-year-old terminally ill. What? Castrate, impotent man? Ridiculous. So my people that picked up on, well done, Cam, yes, we're going to get through this, and positive mental attitude got it right. My sister Gwyneth, if she thought there were sexy nurses there or something, fine. Bit of humour, fine. But wrong. It wasn't the case. For Donna to not speak to me and to disappear for the night, not knowing where I was when she left, because the children have later told me, she didn't ask them where I was. She went 13 hours. What if I'd have come home from the hospital and thought, why, she's not talking to me and I got the hump? If I was the nasty, narcissistic liar that she says I am, and I'd got the hump saying, well, I'm going out to her friends for a few hours, those children would have been on their own. What if I decided I was going to go and spend the night with a friend because I had the hump? Those children would have been on their own. She did not check with me. She did not message me. She did not talk to me. She did not consult me. She went to her friends and started telling them that I had done something. I must have. I'm too happy in the film. But no, a friend of mine said, actually, the film I made going into the hospital, I was just as chipper. So before meeting any nurses, I was in a good mood because I'd had flowers from Donna and I'd had good information and lots of help from JJ. And then the clinical trials. Fine, that was all there was to it. Anyway, Donna disappeared. She took the children to school, took Damon to school, came back, took the girls at 8:30. She's gone. Left me with Ava, my granddaughter. Not my biological granddaughter, but my granddaughter. And to be honest, I've been like a dad to her. you know, like a surrogate dad, really. Left me with her all day. Now, of course, I'm in pain. Damon's knocked my leg during the night. I'm in pain. I've got to go to the post office. I've got to do things, go to the shops. Right, okay, I take Ava, fine. But I am in pain. I'm carrying a baby, putting her, doing what I'm doing. I have to do it. Right, no sign of Donna. Donna comes in at 4:45 with the girls. And after about 5 minutes, she says to me, "Did you pick up Damon?" I said, "What? Why?" She said, "I messaged you." I didn't see any message. And I certainly didn't acknowledge any message. And we'd had the conversation before. When it comes to the school pickups, because I'd messaged her before and she hadn't got back to me, so I went and done the school run. I wouldn't not go and do it. And she said, "Oh, she just call me. You should call me. There's no good in it." So Donna knows, if it comes to school runs, call me. And if you send a message, Donna, and you don't get a response, and I don't say I'm going to pick up the child, do not assume I'm going to pick up the child. I did not get the message, and in fact to this day I still haven't seen that particular message. So she ran off and she picked up Damon. He came back in tears, in floods of tears. I had to say to Damon, "Look, if I'd have known, I'd come and pick you up, you know that. Fine." But I didn't. Now bearing in mind she's left me alone all day anyway with the baby. She doesn't know what state I'm in. What, take the baby, pick up, yeah, fine, I do all that. But I am actually ill. The cancer isn't bogus, it's real. The pain is real. It's excruciating. When people talk about wishing people die screaming from cancer, I know what that means. Because I understand the pain. I didn't know what it meant until January or February, but now I've experienced that pain. I know what it is, why cancer is horrible. Anyway, so Donna came back, told me she wanted me out. Out. She evicted me, out. So I'm out. She's evicted me. She's since sent me an email saying you have until the 1st of April to remove your property from my property, or I will dispose of it and charge. She's doing all that. But she also went to her friend and she told her friend that I'd done, and people believe it. She's probably told her mum the same. People probably believe it. All I can say is, if you believe, that's up to you. But look at the film, understand the nature of the man and the situation he's in, and understand there's no sex in it at all. And this is your reason, Donna. And there was no humiliation of Donna. There's only praise for Donna in it. So I've made this film. It's going to be 40 minutes long. I'm going to publish this film. And I'm not airing dirty laundry in public. I'm airing clean laundry. I haven't done anything wrong. I feel an injustice has been committed because I have been separated from my children and my granddaughter. I find it traumatic. And I'm sure it is traumatic for their children to be deprived of their father. Now, I have no intention of ever having a relationship with Donna. For Donna to have done what she has done, I could never have anything more to do with her. I could wish her all the peace and love in the world. I don't know what her problem is, but honestly, it's an injustice. This is a terminally ill cancer patient whose time with his children is precious, who has now been separated from them. With these accusations of humiliation, of humiliating my other half, I've been called a narcissist, a nasty narcissist, and a liar. I won't wear it. I'm not having that. I won't wear it. That's not me at all. Here's the film. You've seen the evidence. What do you think? Do you think I humiliated my partner by doing what I did? It might humiliate her to be spoken about in this video, but I've been accused and found guilty of humiliation without trial, without her even asking me about it. It's not like I came home, she asked me anything. She went out and started telling the world. Told her friends, the friend who lives at this house where I'm living now. And they would turn around and say, well, you should have did. Why should I have done anything? Why shouldn't I have said to my sister there's no attractive nurses? Why shouldn't I have just acknowledged night nurse? Why not? But this is not a carry-on movie. Okay, this is real life. And the Royal Marsden is not a carry-on hospital. They're proper professional staff. And this cancer patient, apart from the love he has for his family, has to love himself and heal himself. Okay? So I have to focus on that. Okay? That's what I'm focused on, getting well. Okay? Footnote, because this is the end. I remember going up after seeing all these consultants for 2 hours, going up to the radiotherapy for the pre-treatment scan. And the receptionist said to me, "Oh, you're very chipper." And I said, "Yeah, I'm loving all the attention." And I was loving the attention. Now, if that is my crime, loving the attention of good friends, people sending me love, loving the attention of medical staff who care about how I feel and want to help me, ease my pain and know more about my cancer, that's my crime. I've been kicked out, and my 11-year-old son, my 8-year-old daughter, and my 6-year-old daughter, and my 18-month-old granddaughter are without the love of their father/grandfather. I'll video message, I'll do what I do. I'll see them once a week. It's not right. Okay? Now, if anyone is a friend to Donna, please tell her to look at the evidence. Now, Donna is training to be a life coach and holistic healer. She does meditation. Honestly, it's the worst advert for those things. For the lack of compassion, the lack of wisdom, the lack of understanding, and the toxicity. As a holistic healer, we don't do that to cancer patients, okay? As a life coach, you don't do that to partners, okay? And as a meditator, you've got to do better. Right, from me, Daddy Cam, from the One Love Army, this is going on Firewood TV. This is for my children, okay? I haven't sworn. I haven't meant to deride their mother, even though I think her claims are ridiculous, right? I have simply stated the truth because I may not be around forever to speak it. And whilst Donna is with my children, trying to superimpose this bogus reality that their dad has done something wrong, or their dad had any kind of malevolent thoughts or feelings towards their mother, it's wrong. It's wrong, 100% wrong, and the only reason I made this video is because it's 100% wrong. Okay? Case closed, done. Okay. Blessed love to you all. I had to do this. I had to get it off my chest. Okay? Right, thank you for listening. That's 43 minutes, but I've told this story so many times, I think I'll just record it and I can refer people to this video. Okay, so what do you think? Leave your comments in the section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This is Daddy Cam, this is Johnny Firewood, this is Daddy Herb Tree, it's all me. One love, people. Okay.